Hi everyone, I'm Chef Leroy and welcome to my cozy kitchen. Well, guess what? I want to show you something that we like to make on holidays, and I think that it'd be great for you to try on a holiday. Have you ever wanted to go to that party and bring something really special that you may have been really worried about making, or it kind of scares you to try to make it, or it's too expensive? So let me show you what we're going to be doing today. All right guys, so today I'm going to show you how to do shrimp cocktail. Now, a lot of people think, oh, that might be a little too hard for me to do, but it's extremely simple, and honestly, shrimp is still one of the cheaper seafoods that you can buy. Shrimp is still pretty reasonable. Most of it's farm raised, that's why. But anyway, what I'll talk to you about today is I'm going to do 21, 25 count shrimp. Okay, I got this at Costco. This happens to be 1 pound. When you go to Costco, you'll get a 2 pound bag. These are peeled, deveined, and they have the tail on, okay? Now, can you buy it cooked? Sure, but what's the adventure in that? This is the way to do it. I'm gonna show you a poaching liquid that works great with shrimp. It's extremely simple to make, so let's get after it. Okay guys, so as you see, I have my shrimp in the bowl, okay? Now this is frozen shrimp. I got it at Costco. This is a 21 to 25 count shrimp. Now, just so you know, after I slack this is 1 pound, I slack this out, and the liquid alone that you get off of your shrimp, after I drained that and I checked the weight again, I lost 3.2 ounces. And that's just from slacking it out. That's that frost and the ice that's built up on the shrimp and the liquid that is released from the shrimp as it thaws out. And I counted these shrimp, okay, so this is supposed to be 1 pound of shrimp. I actually got 20 pieces. Now, depending on the size of your party you're doing, you do the math. So it's supposed to be 21 to 25. You know, it'll be in between that range somewhere. Now, the other thing is the number. What does the number mean? Again, the number is how many to a pound. So the smaller the number gets, the bigger the shrimp are. Now, I like 21, 25s. I think these are really nice, ideal shrimp for a cocktail, especially if you're doing a little party with at someone's house. But you know, as you get bigger, the shrimp get a little chewier stuff. So I really like this size. Okay, so a few things you're gonna need for this recipe. Number one, you're gonna need ingredients, and you'll need a couple tools that will be helpful for you, okay? Again, I've got my shrimp in a bowl, and what I did after this was slacked out, I rinsed it with nice cold water, so they've already been rinsed. You're gonna need a pot. Okay, you're gonna put your water in the pot with all your other ingredients. I like this strainer to pull my shrimp out at the end. It's really convenient, and then you're not dumping hot water. Now, I also have a fine strainer. This will be used to strain out my vegetables, and I'll show you that step in a little bit here, okay? So, what do I have here? I've got celery. I've got 1 rib of celery. I've got a half of an onion, but I'm only using 1/4 of that onion, okay? Let's move our shrimp out of the way. I've got a lemon, which I'm going to use the full lemon. And in my bowl here, I've got some of my dry goods. I've got 3 bay leaf. I got a 1/2 teaspoon of black peppercorns, 1/4 teaspoon of dry thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, and you can use kosher salt or table salt. It doesn't really matter. I just happen to have sea salt. And then we have minced garlic as well. And I've got 1 teaspoon of minced garlic right here, okay? All right, let's get this recipe going here. So first thing we're gonna do, since we have our shrimp already ready to go, we're gonna add our water to our pot, okay? So I've got 6 cups of water. You could do 2 pounds of shrimp with this amount of liquid. I'm gonna do 1 pound of shrimp. So take your water, add it to your pot, throw your dry seasonings in, okay? Just like so. We're gonna take our celery. I'm gonna move the pot off to the side here. And we're gonna rough chop it, okay? That just means just bang it out. Okay, we're gonna do 1/4 of this yellow onion. Again, just gonna cut it into some pieces like so. Okay, throw it in the pot. Boom. Next thing, we're gonna do the lemon, okay? Cut your lemon in half. I got a lemon squeezer. Do you need it? No, you can squeeze it by hand, but this just makes it a lot easier. You're gonna squeeze all the juice into the water. and drop your lemon in your pot. These are really handy, I'm telling you. It's a lot easier on your wrist when you're trying to squeeze lemons or limes. Put your minced garlic in, and there you have it, poaching water. So now what do we do next? We're gonna put it on a stove, bring it to a boil, and cook it. Okay guys, let's turn on the stove. But anyway, another item I forgot to tell you, get a spoon, okay? Stir all that in. Basically, you're just mixing that salt off the bottom into your liquid. Bring that up to a boil. We're gonna let it simmer until the vegetables are nice and soft. And then the next step will be getting our shrimp cooked. Okay, so induction is actually very quick at coming up to a boil, but if you have an issue where your stove takes a little more time, let's say you have electric or your gas isn't quite that hot, throw a cover on it. It will come up to a boil very quick. Okay, pot's up to a boil. The cover helped. It only took 2 minutes to bring it to a boil. What I'll do now is I will reduce it to a simmer. And the cover helped quite a bit. I mean, you see how fast that cools down? That, or just drops in temperature, that's induction. That's how nice these are. Extremely efficient. Now that's too low because that's not a simmer. What is a simmer? A simmer's got small bubbles, right? So let's kick that up a little bit until we get it up to a simmer. And basically we're gonna cook this until our vegetables are nice and soft. That'll give all of this liquid a really good flavor. There we go. Stir that around. Smells so good too in your house. It just gives it such an aromatic smell with that lemon. All right, we're just gonna let that simmer. Could put a cover on it. You just have to be careful that your liquid does not boil over onto your stove. That's the main thing. So just make sure it's down to a really nice low simmer. But this actually will help keep your liquid from reducing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that down so you can already see how much it comes up to a quicker simmer. So I'm gonna drop it down a little bit more. That's what the cover's doing. It's magnifying that temperature inside there. All right, we're just gonna let it cook. Show you in a little bit. So my water basically has been simmering with the cover on it for about 20 minutes. And what you're gonna look for is you're looking for your celery to be really soft, okay? And it's mushy, just like that. Okay, so turn off your stove. And then what we'll do is we will strain out that vegetable, get that liquid back in the pot, and I'll show you the next step after that. Okay guys, I've got a bowl here with a strainer in it. Just gonna pick up our pot and pour the liquid through the strainer. And there you go, beautiful poaching liquid. Go ahead and put that back over the top of your pot. Let that liquid leak right into there. And we're gonna pour all that nice water back in there. Got my shrimp here. So next thing we're gonna do is gonna get this back on the stove, put it on high. And because your water is already hot, it's only gonna take a few seconds here for this to heat up, especially with induction. So main thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna bring it up to a boil, that water nice and hot again, and then we'll drop our shrimp, and then I'll show you what to look for when you're cooking it. Okay, my liquid's back up to a boil. I'm gonna drop this way down to low. Okay, reduce it all the way to low. Let's drop our shrimp in, just like so. Give the shrimp a stir. I'm gonna hit my timer. As you see, the shrimp will turn nice and pink right away. That does not mean it's done. It's getting close though. It happens very quickly. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get some ice into a bowl. Okay, this is to chill your shrimp. Just wanna chill it down right away. That'll keep it really beautiful. Look at how nice that looks. So I can tell that when I'm looking at it, it's not done yet because in the back of the seam here, you can see where the shrimp has been split. It still has a kind of a coloration that's not even with the rest of the shrimp. As you see, I don't even have this back up to a boil. You don't have to. If you do that, you will cook your shrimp too long. So I'm at 2 minutes right now. I'm gonna pull a shrimp up. Okay. I'm gonna split it to check to see if it's the same color all the way through. If you see that there, it's still a little opaque as we call it. So I'm gonna let them go a little bit longer here. I'm at the 3-minute mark. So I wanna take another shrimp, pull it up. I'm gonna cut it again, pull it apart, and check it again. And you can see it's just about done, okay? We're just about there. Okay, now I'm at the 4-minute mark. So go ahead and take another shrimp out that you haven't cut. Take another look. There you go. That looks beautiful. So it took about 4 minutes. Shrimp is ready to rock and roll, okay? So let's go ahead and take that out. Drop it in our ice water bath. The thing is, you don't want to overcook it because they get chewy. So we want to get them out of there right away and get them in really cold water. There you go. All right, I'm gonna set this off to the side and let that shrimp cool down really nicely, and I will do a recap with you guys. So, do a little recap on the shrimp cocktail, okay? So again, I started out with 21.25 tail on, peeled and deveined raw shrimp, okay? Again, Costco has it in their freezer section. I like the 21.25s. I think the size is really nice. I really like them. So you can use larger ones, smaller ones. It's your recipe, your party. Do whatever kind you want, okay? Doesn't really matter. We started out with 6 cups of water. We have 1 rib of celery, and I rough chopped it. I have a 1/4 of a medium yellow onion, peeled and rough chopped. 3 each of the bay leaf, a 1/2 teaspoon of black peppercorns, a 1/4 teaspoon of dry thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt or kosher salt or table salt, whatever type of salt you like to use. I just happen to have that. And then again, 1 lemon squeezed and put right into your pot. Now, the vegetables, when you bring everything to a boil and everything's cooked, you just discard your vegetables. Throw them in your compost. I would just only use your poaching liquid a second time. Put it in, let it cool down, all the way down to room temperature. Put it into a Ziploc bag, freezer bag, put it in your freezer, date it, label it, and that can save for quite some time as a liquid, okay? So let's try one. Let's try one of these shrimps. Exquisite. Really good. Now, serve it with your favorite sauce. Cocktail sauce, really easy to make. Ketchup, horseradish. I use a little bit of Worcestershire in mine, a little bit of lemon juice. Sometimes I'll put a little Tabasco in there, a little bit of garlic. You can make a fantastic cocktail sauce. Maybe I can go over one of those recipes too, or just eat them straight up. Take some fresh lemon, squeeze it over your shrimp, and serve it up. Okay, so one other thing I'd like to add, you do not need to leave your shrimp in the water. Please take it out once it's cooled, throw it into a Ziploc bag or a bowl or your favorite dish if you're gonna serve it right away. Now, I'm not doing this until the next day, so I'm going to just take this out, let the shrimp drain really well, and then put it in a bag or a bowl and wrap it up. So make sure you get it out of that liquid though. You don't want to leave it in there. It starts to get watery too. So keep it nice and crisp and great. You guys have a great day. Hope you have a fantastic holiday season. Bring shrimp to your next party. Your guests will love it. And they're going to think you did such an awesome job, and they'll probably ask you for the recipe as well. Anyway, if you like the channel, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, ding, ding, ding. Great. Give me some thumbs up. And if you have any comments, please add them at the bottom, and I will try to respond to them as soon as I can, and I'll give you any other information I can. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. Chef Leroy, and out.